Good morning, good morning, good morning, beautiful, blessed people of God. What it do, what it do, what it do. Happy Monday. We praise God for another Monday. OMG, what's going on? Wow. Well, to God be the glory. We've made it here to another day. We've got us a beautiful day here in New York City. I'm over here checking my Fitbit results for this morning. But it is going to be really, really high temperatures in just a few hours. Honestly, it's getting ready to crank up. We're about at 80 degrees right about now, but it's going up to a high 93. And I know all my people who are in further southern states, you're like, girl, you ain't saying nothing but a word. I know, but this New York City humidity is lethal. It is lethal. So oh gosh, and it's going to be 96 degrees tomorrow. Why did I choose to be out and about on those days and Wednesday? Lord have mercy. But it is expected to kind of cool down just a little bit towards the week. But definitely watch out for the humidity. It's 73%, which is not the greatest. So watch out for that. Make certain you stay hydrated. I need to get my hydration on now. But you can feel the heat rising up. But I do say good morning. We thank God for another day. I titled this Praise God, It's Monday. And I know nobody has ever said that, but it is a day that starts for some, it starts the trajectory of our week. And so if we start the week off really, really good, then the rest of the momentum is an easy, catch on. It'll travel in that correct direction. So the way you start the week is potentially the way the trajectory in which the week will go. Good morning, Carol. Happy Monday to you, sis. I pray that all is well with you and your household. I hope you are staying cool as best as you possibly can in this heat that we are experiencing. But hey, it is summer, right? It is summer. You've got your water and your juice. Absolutely. Stay hydrated is the key. I need to finish up this water. I just put a little bit of cold water in here. I need to finish that up before I shift gears into my mushroom coffee. So I will have my mushroom coffee as I run out here in these streets. And the coffee doesn't bother me being hot when I'm out in my car, because in my car we got air conditioning. I don't mind running the air conditioner in my car. Never have I ever tried to tough it out in the car. Now, when I'm at home, I'm sitting in the fans. I got the windows open. I'm wishing on a prayer. But when I'm in my car, baby, the AC will go on. No qualms about it. So I will sip my hot coffee as I am driving through the streets with the air on, and all is well. And one thing about when when you turn the car off, the car gets extremely hot. But the one thing about it is that it will actually keep your coffee hot. So if you like hot coffee, the heat in the car will do you some good. So I've got a good start to the week. I got my game plan set. And so I'm praying that my angels have gone out before me already, that they are making anything that's crooked, they're making it straight. They are blocking any and all accidents that the enemy has sent out as a distraction, as a delay. We cancel it in the mighty name of Jesus. Y'all better make sure y'all talk to your angels this morning. Make sure your angels are a few steps ahead of you, so that way you have smooth sailing on this day. So I believe in giving assignments to my angels. Like, look, y'all know where we got to go today. Go on over there, set the atmosphere, get the people together, get everybody on one accord so that I can walk in peace. I can walk in love. I can walk in all of the fruits of the spirit, and ain't nobody gonna, jeopardize that. So make certain you give your angels their marching orders for today. I pray that you all will have traveling mercies as you are traveling to and from today. And I pray that you will make the most out of today, right? That you will get the most accomplished out of the day. Like, really tap into the day. Get everything done. Don't wait to do something. Get everything done. Everything that is slated for today, do it today. Amen, Carol. Amen. Listen, if you don't talk to nobody else during the day, between God and after you finish talking to God, you better talk to your angels. Absolutely. And the Holy Spirit, right? So we got some folks, if we don't speak to our mama, all right, hey, do you, but you better talk to them angels, right? You better talk to them angels. If you ain't talking to your coworkers, you better talk to them angels. In fact, those angels should be sitting at your workplace before you even get there. So talk to your angels. It's important. But where do I want to start? The weekend was so full. But what I was mentioning to you all is don't wait. If there's something that needs to be done, don't, like, the enemy is really coming in a disguise. And the enemy is coming in under the disguise of procrastination, putting stuff off. Well, I'll do it tomorrow. Well, I'll do it next week. Oh, I'll get to that next year. No, that's a disguise of the enemy, and we want to be prepared, right? We were talking all last week. Come on, somebody. We were talking all last week about being prepared. We were talking about being in position. We were talking about our posture. We were talking about the practice. It's just practice, right? It's just practice. AI had it wrong. Practice is important. Practice is equally as important as the actual game. All right. So don't get it twisted. Don't let anybody, delude you into thinking practice is not necessary. Practice is very, very much necessary. Good morning, Teresa. Blessings to you. So we had the practice, we had the preparation, we had the practice, we had the posture and the position. So we had our 4 P's on last week. So we know what it is that we need to do. But the enemy is coming in a disguise, right? The enemy is not always blatant. The enemy is not always, teeth out, claws out. The enemy comes in disguises, and that disguise is procrastination. And it says, well, you don't really have time for that. Put that off. No, as we said, I think this might have been 2 weeks ago, either 2 weeks ago or early part of last week. We were talking about there's a time for everything. And we do have time. We were declaring and decreeing that we do indeed have time to do everything that the Lord has set out for us to do, on that day. And so we want to be very, very intentional as we are getting started with our week, that we are getting our stuff done. Because time really is of the essence. And if the Lord allotted today as the day that you get X, Y, and Z done, well, baby, you need to make certain you get X, Y, and Z done. Okay. Now, I'm usually a big stickler, on due dates and deadlines. But when I'm dealing with myself, I'm lax. I can give myself, okay, well, you didn't get to it. Don't beat yourself up. But when I'm dealing with the team, no, the deadline is the deadline. If I say it's due by this day, it's due by this day. And this is the way we need to hold people accountable, but we also need to treat ourselves in the same way. We've got to hold ourselves accountable. Absolutely, Teresa. The time is indeed now. And you've got enough time in this day to get done everything that God has allotted for this day. And if you feel like you don't have time, you need to do inventory and see where you are allocating your time. Are you scrolling through social media? Have you played your game, right? Because I'm back on my iPad game, but I'm not on it as heavy as I had been previously. And I don't want to get to that point because I've got things that I need to do. And when I find myself not doing the things that I'm supposed to do, and I'm playing the game or I'm scrolling, looking for something on social media, then I need to be able to be accountable and check myself and say, girl, get off of this. Get to doing what you're supposed to be doing. Good morning, Leslie. Blessings to you. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much now. All right, but you're moving along. That's the name of the game. We're getting our stuff done. So this weekend, and there's so much that I want to talk about from when I last saw you guys on Friday, but I actually want to start with yesterday. So yesterday was Sunday, and I had intentions for Sunday, and for some reason, it's been pressing on my spirit to clean my house. Okay. It's been pressing on my spirit to clean my house. I don't know why, y'all. I don't know why. I don't know why I've got this feeling that I just need to clean my house. But from last week, I kept saying, Sunday's going to be the day I got to clean my house. Like, and when I say clean my house, I don't mean just, because like, throughout the week, I, will go in the living room, I'll fluff up my pillows on my couch. For some reason, my children don't like the pillows. My children have never been fans of the pillows on the couch because every time they're in the living room, the pillows are on the floor, the pillows are up on top of the couch, the pillows are always somewhere else. For some reason, they don't like the pillows. But as the day progresses, like I'll wash the dishes, I'll, wipe the counter down. I'll organize, the stuff in the dining room. Like I said, I'll fluff the pillows on, and I always sanitize my couch because I'm a stickler on street clothes. When you in street clothes, and then you kind of like lounging around on the things that people lounge around on in with their house clothes on, it doesn't mix well. And I'm a big hand washer. So when you come in the house, you got to wash your hands. But that's a total sidebar. But if you're around me, when you come in the house, especially if you're going to sit and stay for a while, wash your hands, right? Sanitize your hands, do something. Because again, that street germs and house, we don't like to mix. But I will normally go around and clean up my house. Good morning, Leslie Ann. Blessings to you. I will tidy up my house. That's basically what I do during the week because I've got a lot of stuff that I'm going on, and don't nobody feel like doing a whole lot of cleaning. You just tidy stuff up, right? But the Lord has been putting it in my spirit that I just needed to, and it is a deep clean that I need to do. Like I needed to mop the floors, like just really, really a deep cleaning. And so I woke up yesterday and that was just on my spirit. I had already known this. The Lord had already forewarned me. And I said, yes, I need to make certain that I do this, right? I have to get this done. I cannot procrastinate to it. Now, most of the time, Leslie, I do like for people to take off their shoes, but it's not a necessity, especially on the main area. But if you are going upstairs for whatever, like if you ever had business upstairs, I do ask people to take their shoes off before they go upstairs. Now, the main floor, again, I allow people to come in and out. It's not that major of a deal for me. And occasionally I do try to like mop and sanitize and everything, but but you know what? It's the best thing to do. Honestly, it is the best thing to do. Exactly. I do like a maintenance during the week. And so, yes, having your slippers and my youngest son, he is the type of person where he has in his room shoes, and then he has shoes for when he's going throughout the house. Why he's like that, I have no idea. But you know what? It's not a bad idea. Why? Because if people are coming in and out of the house on the main floor and they're trekking in, whatever they're trekking in with their street shoes, you're not now contaminating, all the different areas. So he's not wrong with having his in his room shoes and his and he will switch them up and everything. So he's not wrong with that at all. But it's a good idea, right? So the Lord had this in my spirit to clean up. And like I said, I don't know if somebody's coming to visit. I don't know why I had this need to like thoroughly clean up. But I had that set in my mind for Sunday. And because I had the event on Saturday, Sunday was the day for it. So I had things allotted for Sunday. I had some business work I needed to take care of, and I wanted to clean my house. Those were like the main attractions. And so I found myself, I got in late Saturday. So I guess it was like Sunday morning when I got in the house because I'm grown, right? And I'm outside. Hey. And so I got in pretty late on Saturday. And so I went to sleep and my body woke up 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Like we're literally just getting to sleep and here my body's up at 6. but I was able to go back to sleep, which was good. And so finally, when I started my day, it was about 9:30. And I started cleaning. And now I didn't do the type of cleaning that most people do. And I don't know if I'm most people. Good morning, sis. Blessings to you. I started cleaning. So say for instance, I did that kind of sporadic cleaning. So say for instance, I'm cleaning off my bedside table, and say there is a cup, or say there's something that belongs in another room of the house. Then I would take that cup, I would take it down to the kitchen, and then I'm in the kitchen. I would end up washing the dishes. I would end up cleaning up the stove, doing all X, Y, and Z. And then I'd come back in the room and I'm like, all we did was move one cup, right? So I did that kind of sporadic cleaning, but I said to myself, well, at least stuff is getting done. At the very least, things were indeed getting done. So I got my room, and I always start my room in sections. So I've got like this first half. I got like this first half of my room taken care of. The second half is almost done. I had a big garbage bag that I was throwing out, the underwear, the t-shirts that I told you guys we're still in that purging process. I had that bag still on the floor. I got rid of that. I had another bag with some clothes that were for the winter. I put that downstairs. So I took care of the main thing. And would you believe it? As I'm cleaning off my desk, and now mind you, I bought this desk during the pandemic. So I've had this desk since 2020, right? I'm cleaning off my desk, and my desk is a mess. I'll be honest with you. The desk is a mess. I don't sit at the desk, but the desk is like my storage space. Good morning, Apostle. Blessings to you. And so last night, as I was cleaning up, I'm cleaning off some of the papers. I'm trying to organize some of the papers on the desk. Would you believe the desk breaks? My desk that houses half of the stuff in my room breaks. Now, Saturday morning, I put up a post on my Facebook page that I'm in this space where I am, like Paul, I am being content with whatever. Like, I'm not allowing things to disrupt me, to disturb me. And baby, please believe, the things is trying. The things is happening, and the things is trying to get me off course. And so everything is divine time. And the Lord was speaking to me about, no matter how things go, no matter which way it goes, you maintain your peace, you maintain your sanity, you approach it in a normal, calm type of manner. So I had put that up on my Facebook post Saturday morning. And it must have sent out the alert, the mass messaging system, the SMS must have gone out, and everything tried to happen. Saturday was an all-white event. I was a moderator at the We Can Wear White. It's the White Dress Project, We Can Wear White movement. They had an empowered patient summit on Saturday. And so my intentions for the day was to go and to moderate the 2 panel discussions. They were also having an event at night, which I wasn't 100% sure that I was going to go to, but I said, you know what? It's a free ticket. The plates were $150. I said, you know what? It's a free ticket. Let me go and let me have at it. So that was my intention for the day. I put on my white outfit. There's spots on it. Okay. Brand new white outfit that I just bought last weekend. Oh, well, let's start it with this. The outfit that I purchased from Amazon 3 weeks ago for the event on Saturday never showed up. And then they removed the tracking. So I don't know where it's at. Right. So I didn't have my outfit that I had planned 3 weeks ago I was going to have. And the Lord was like, be content in every situation. So instead of me getting upset, and I was hopeful, I was like, Amazon could come throw this package on the porch at any given second. I was hopeful, but the Lord was already showing me. He's like, be content in any situation. And so the outfit never shows up. I'm like, all right, no biggie. I do got a backup outfit. I washed the backup outfit Friday evening. It came out of the washing machine with spots on it. Something's wrong with my washing machine. My whites, my light colored clothes are getting messed up. My mom is trying to convince me that I need to be separating my whites and my darks. I've never separated my whites and my darks since I left her household. Like, I've always just thrown everything in the washing machine. So why now it's messing up? I have no idea. But if it means I got to separate the stuff, then maybe now I need to start separating it. I don't know. But the white outfit, that my backup outfit, had spots on it. I had to wear it anyway. And we also have this vanity where if we've worn an outfit one place, we don't like to wear it a second place. I had to get over that. I had to put it on. I said, girl, even if you just throw on some white pants and a white t-shirt, you got to go, right? Because I had things to do. And thank you, Carol. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And it was an amazing event, right? It was an amazing event. Made it there, had a great time. In fact, they ended up giving me more responsibility because I was actually only supposed to moderate 2 discussions, but they ended up kind of giving hostess duties over to me. So I was playing moderator / hostess, and I was running a microphone, and it was very, very pleasant. We had a really, really good time. And I thank God for it all. I got such amazing compliments. Even later that night, people were still coming up to me and they was like, girl, you did that. Like, that was so, so good. So I thank God for that. Exactly, Carol. I think I am going to have to start separating the clothes. The enemy was trying big time, Apostle. As soon as I put that declaration out that I was going to learn to be content, I was operating in the spirit of being content in every situation. The enemy was like, say less, and was just throwing the things, the outfits, the this, the that. And I just kept going. I kept going. Got back home around 4. I had to take my mom home 4:30. And so I had time because the evening event didn't start till 7. But I said, you know what? Let me get myself together rather than trying to lay down and rest or do whatever. I was like, let me just get myself together, change my clothes, and go to the next, event. And again, it's the night in white. So now I got to put on white. Luckily, I did have a white dress. I had 2 white dresses. I had a really, really dressy one. And I had one that you could dress it up or dress it down, like kind of like that. And so I put on, the casual one, and I was just going to dress it up. Soon as I put the thing over my head, now mind you, I'm careful because my face is already made up. I put the thing over my head. I get makeup on my white dress. Now I got makeup on my white dress. And I don't want to wear the other one because the other one was really, really dressy. And okay, Carol, have a blessed day. I really wanted, I didn't really want to be too dressy. I just wasn't in the mood to be dressy. And plus I was taking the bus into the city. And so I didn't want to be walking the streets all dressy, that kind of a thing. So I wore the casual one. So I had to wash it because it had makeup on it. Then I get to the bus stop. The bus was supposed to come at 5:27. The 5:27 didn't show up. Now, mind you, where I live, it's like a what goes up must come down. So if you see the bus going on one side of the street, give or take 20 minutes, it's going to wrap back around, maybe 10, 15 minutes. It's going to wrap back around and it's going to come down the opposite side. So as I was leaving my house, I literally saw the bus going to its last stop. And so I crossed the street, waited for it to come back. It never came back. So I went back in the house. I'm frustrated now because now time again is being chewed away at. There was a 6:27 bus. went back outside again, saw the bus go the opposite way. It never came back. It never came back. That 627 bus never showed up. So now where I was leaving out early, now I'm actually late because the 627 bus did not show up. So now my options are take the other bus and go take the subway to connect to the subway. I don't want to take the subway. I don't do the subway. If I got to go downtown and I got to take the subway, I'm not going. So the 727 bus, now it's going to put me late because the event starts at 7 o'clock. I started not to go. But I remember the post that I put up that morning. Be content in all situations and everything. Thank you, Apostle. Be content in every situation. So I waited. Now, mind you, when I saw the bus going down the block across the street, I ran to the last stop and actually spoke to the bus driver. And I said, listen, I don't know what happened to your counterparts, but they disappearing over there at the last stop. They not making their way back down. And I asked him, I said, are you coming back this way? He was like, yeah. He was like, give me like 20 minutes and I should be back over here. And so I waited. I literally waited until that 727 bus. And I got on that 727 bus and went downtown. I got to the event at 8:30. I don't like to go to events late. That's just not in me. I don't like walking in when things are already moving and going around or whatever. But they hadn't served dinner yet. There was plenty of seats. The host, the organizer of the event, she saw me. She was like, hey, there's plenty of seats. Like, just go through, find a seat. And so, of course, I took the first seat that I saw. I was like, ain't nobody got time to be looking at tables, see who's at what table and making my way through. I just sat at the first seat. When I tell you, I had such a good time connecting with people. The two people that I was sitting next to, we gabbed the whole night. And I really, really had such a good time. And I'm glad that I pressed my way and went anyway. Now, mind you, again, I didn't leave there till late. We didn't conclude until almost midnight. And so we had a good time celebrating and honoring warriors who were in the fibroid journey. And one of the things that I'm going to start doing more is talking about the journey. There are so many resources. There's so many support. There's so many avenues of support and much more than what you get right at your doctor's office. I don't know if these doctors are being selfish. And listen, I'm going to just call it as I see it. I don't know if they're being selfish and they don't want to share. I don't know if it's a money thing. I don't know what the deal is, but women are not getting the full support that they need when it comes to having a diagnosis of fibroids. They don't consider fibroids a chronic condition, and it is. Having fibroids is literally a chronic condition, and we should be able to get disability from it. We should, short-term disability, long-term disability on our jobs, because it can be so debilitating and life-altering. And they said that the research shows that having fibroids affects you just as much as if you had a diagnosis of depression or if you had a diagnosis of breast cancer. But the pathways are not equal. The support that is available is not equal. And exactly. And it's sinful. I want to say it's shameful, but I want to say it's sinful. It is very, very sinful to neglect or withhold information from a patient. Right. And I can even reflect on my encounters and my experiences with my doctors. And I actually have some doctors that I really, really love. Like they are very informative. They're nice people. But I realize that they only know how to service me in one area. And I remember going to my doctor. Exactly. I remember going to my doctor, and I told my doctor that I wanted to be seen by specialists. I wanted to see the therapist. I wanted to see a nutritionist. I wanted to see all of these other entities. And they were like, well, no, like you, what do you need all of that for? Because I'm dealing with a chronic condition, right? I'm dealing with a chronic condition. And they throw a hysterectomy in everybody's face. And there's so many, especially now, there are so many more options. And I'm like, we got to get people to know about these options, because women are, and I did not want a hysterectomy. I did not. I was adamant, and it sounded crazy, but my reasons were my reasonings. But many women are pushed to the decision to have surgery because nothing else is offered to them. And it's almost like you make the decisions based off of a desperation. And so, exactly, Leslie, like, we do need to become advocates for ourselves, for our daughters, right? For the generations coming behind us. And so I left Saturday's events because I hosted a doctor's panel. So I was asking questions in my Oprah-like fashion. I was asking questions to an all doctors panelist. And I mean, that conversation was good. We almost didn't want to stop it because there were so many good questions. There were so many good questions that were coming, and great answers. And, people were giving their testimonies. And so it was really, really good. And then I also hosted a patient discussion. So we had a few patients on the platform, the panelists, and they were sharing their stories and giving tips to, again, the audience. And so it was an amazing event, full of information, presentations. Like, it was really, really good. And I just say, more people should have been there. We had a nice crowd. I want to say maybe about 50 in the audience, because it was a very narrow space. But I would say maybe about 50 attendees. But we really should have had an audience, a coliseum, auditorium of 200, 250 people, 300, 350 people. We really should have had that, because fibroids is such a common healthcare issue, chronic condition, not only in women overall. It's a 70% rate in women overall. So 70% of the women population have it, but 80% in the African American community. There's a big problem. If someone does not see that it is a big problem, that 80% of women of color, of African American women, suffer with fibroids, but they don't want to call it a chronic condition. We can't get leave like we do for maternity leave or anything. Like, something is wrong. And it feeds into that mentality that Black women are strong and we just take it. So yes, you've killed our husband, you've stolen our children, but we still are working in the fields. We've got the babies on our back, the sun is beaming on our face, but we're still working and getting your crops together and cooking dinner for your family and cleaning your house and nursing your babies. You've raped us. So now I've got your child that I got to care for by myself. And now I got to take care of your other children, your wife. This is the disrespect that Black women have experienced for years and generations. No longer are we considered queens when that's where we truly originated from. And there is a big, big problem. And I was starting a conversation with the young man that was sitting next to me. He was on my right side. And I started talking to him about, and I told him that it was a blessing that he was in the room. Yes, fibroids affects women, but we need our men in the room. And Apostle, I saw a clip of what you did at the women's conference over the weekend. You had your speaking event as well. And I was praying for you that morning. I was like, come on, Lord, do what you're going to do. And you did an amazing job. I tell you, I just got a heart for you and Apostle Marvin, like my heart really. And I know why. The Lord has already showed me why. I have a heart for the two of you, and you did your thing. I'm telling you, you did your thing, and you were speaking about how a man and a woman are supposed to interact with each other, like what the role is, and that was the theme that I was talking to this young man about, that we need men to support us. This is a struggle, and again, I take this back into slavery days where they separated the men. So now we grow up in a society where the men are separated. So they think they from Mars. We think we from Venus. So we think that we are separated. But in all honesty, we are united, right? And that's the way we need to operate. And so it grieves my spirit because there's this sports guy. I'm not even going to call his name because it's just so crazy to me. But like they're giving commentary. And again, I know we live in a society where people love people giving their feedback and their commentary, and they make things, controversial and all of that good stuff. But there is something so wrong when you as a Black man are speaking negatively towards another Black woman. It grieves my spirit. It grieves my spirit. Thank you so much, Apostle. It grieves my spirit when a Black man is speaking negatively about a Black woman. I don't care what she's done, how she did it. You didn't like the way she did it. You think somebody else did it better. Baby, I don't care. You need to fix your mouth when it comes to speaking about Black women. And that is why the society is always going to be in a negative state, because we haven't gotten that problem taken care of. Good morning, Renee. We must nurture and advocate and support and teach our young men how to be respectful for women, for the young women, for the women in their circumference. I don't care. Yeah, look, I'm about to climb up on this high horse. I don't care what it is. You as a Black man, even if you don't agree with what she's doing, you need to find something nice to say or keep your mouth shut. But we need Black men to support us. So again, from the beginning of society, we've been separated. We've been taught to operate separately. And so we continue that mentality. So women, 80% of Black women are struggling with this chronic condition of fibroids, and we don't have the support. We're going to the doctors. The doctors are not helping us the way that we can, but our men are not even showing up to support us. And so one of the things that we spoke about when I was moderating the panel discussion, one of the questions I asked was about the support system. What could we do to increase our support system, especially when it comes to making these decisions as to whether or not I'm going to try medicine, whether or not I'm going to try a holistic approach, whether or not I'm going to try surgery or whatever. What is the measures that we can take to increase our support? And one of the things was to bring people with you to your doctor's appointments. When you go to the doctor, you should bring your support system. Your husband, your boyfriend, your boo thing needs to come to the doctor with you. Why? So they can hear it from the doctor's mouth and not from you retelling the accounts when you get home. There is nothing wrong with taking your partner with you. And I get it. People work. But you know what? This is how you build a healthier support system. I want you to come to the doctor's office with me so we can make this decision together, not us separate but equal. No, we're not doing that. Like, we got to get out of this mentality. And you're right, Renee, it is a slave mentality that is so deeply rooted in us. It's crazy. I put up on my my post this morning. The Lord led me to put up on my post this morning. Let me tell you, I want to tell you exactly how the Lord had me to put it. And the Lord was saying, let's normalize saying, I need help. Let's normalize saying, I need help. It didn't work out. I'm not feeling my best. Because we live in a world where people are unnecessarily struggling. There is an unnecessary struggle that is occurring. If our finances are low, we don't tell nobody. And then this shame, this guilt now starts to eat away at us. Now the enemy has crept in through the crevices because we won't open our mouths up to say, you know what? The relationship didn't work. The marriage didn't work. Right, exactly. No problem, Apostle. Exactly. If we are going to be united together, we need to support each other. We need to be able to hold people's hands. There are many people going through divorces and they feel like they're alone in their journey. I thank God for my spiritual mother, who's my natural aunt. She walked me through. So she went with me when I had court cases, because them court cases would wear me out. The enemy would be like, I would be totally beat up before I even made it into the courtroom. And we were constantly having to go back and forth to court. There was always another court date and another court date and another court date. It was insane. And of course, that meant I had to take the time off from work. Ain't nobody got time to be taking all of this time off from work, because I'm not telling the people on my job that I'm going through a divorce. Right? Because you don't tell nobody you going through a divorce. Because they're going to look at you and say, well, what's wrong with you? What didn't you do? Now they want to make assumptions. Oh, he cheated on her. Just don't make assumptions. Not everybody gets divorced because somebody cheated. There are a number of other reasons why relationships don't work. And so we have to make certain that we create an environment, an atmosphere where it's okay for people to share their heartbreak, their struggles. Why? So that not just you can just got something to gossip. And that's another thing that gets me up on my high horse. Y'all pay so much attention to what's going on in everybody else's relationship. People that you ain't gonna never speak to, never see, never be able to say, boo to, but you spend so much time concerned with who they doing and what they doing and how they doing it, that you don't have this environment conducive to being able to help those who are around you. Like, what's wrong with us? What's wrong with us? We need to get into a place where we are normalizing someone saying they need help. And us as the remnant, we have to be on high alert. We've got to have our spirit man so sharp that we pick this up. So if somebody is placed in your heart, on your spirit, we gotta pick this up. And there was a post that went up, and I don't know if any of you had did it, but I saw a post on social media where it said, pick a person and pray for that person for the next 30 days. But don't tell that person you're praying for them. Don't tell that person you're praying for them. Just pray for them. We don't need you doing no video talking about, oh, I'm praying for. No show. Just do it. We got to pray for people more. So if somebody comes into your spirit, or if so, and I'll be honest with you all, there's a particular person that I have dreams about every 3 months. Every 3 months, 2 to 3 months, this person pops up in my dream. And I asked the Lord, I'm like, Lord, really? You got to understand your assignment. There's a reason why the Lord keeps showing me this person every 2 to 3 months. There's a reason. So as the remnant, we have a responsibility. We got to pray. We got to be the watchmen, right? We got to be the watchmen. And we've got to pray these people through. So whether they come to you and say, Sister Renee, can you pray for me? Whether they say that or not, if you see something on social media, you see somebody post something up, oh, I'm going in for surgery. Oh, oh, this is not going right. Pray for them. These celebrities that we all in their business, we know what's going on in their private lives. Yo, you listen, pray for them. Pray for them. Stop the foolishness and pray for them. So we have to be better stewards of creating this space and this environment of support, that we can support one another. If you see somebody posting something crazy, they talking crazy on social media, pray for them. Because everybody doesn't feel comfortable with saying, you know what, I'm going through a divorce. You know what, I didn't get the job. You know what, I got terminated. I got laid off. You know what, I'm not feeling that good. I don't know what's going on with me. I just don't feel good. We need to normalize having those types of conversations so we can get out of that mentality that I can do bad all by myself. We got to be able to let somebody in. And like I said, as the remnants, everybody's not going to come and just ask us. If you see a need, pray. If you see a need, pray. Exactly. Like you were spot on at that event on Saturday, Apostle. You were spot on. And I love the demonstration that you and Apostle Marvin did with him, like having your back. Black women have always been at the forefront. We've had to be, because we're the ones that they tolerate. They can't stand Black men, but they will tolerate Black women. So we have been the buffer, so to speak. But we're getting attacked too. We're getting attacked too. And we need the support. We honestly, truly need the support. And especially because I can attest to the ones I can see. For the ones I can't see who's on the line, God bless you. Thank you for tuning in. But for the ones that I know are on the line, especially because of the assignment that the Lord has placed on your life, it is all the more important that you have that support. You cannot afford to settle for anything less. Your assignment is too heavy for you to settle for anything else. Right? Oh, Apostle, you know it. You know it, sis. I'm gonna have your back all the time. Like, Apostle, what was that? And how can I pray for you? What you need, sis? You good, right? Oh, absolutely. But we cannot afford to have partners just because they're cute, just because they got a sexy body, just because they like you. This ain't grade school. Do you have what it takes to support my gifting? Can you, because some men are, they've been taught, again, this is the way they've been taught from the beginning of time, where they're jealous. They don't say they're jealous, but they secretly jealous. Or they can't handle when you're in the spotlight, when you're the one people know, when you're the one getting the applause. Ladies, we got to be wiser in our choices. Exactly, Danielle, 100%. We have to make certain that we are getting partners. Amen. Amen. God bless her. We are selecting partners that can support our calling. We want them to understand their calling and their giftings and be able to do what they do. But it's also important that we got to compare callings, right? So when you meet somebody and instead of asking, hey, so what's your favorite color? Dude, really at this point, I don't care what your favorite color is. I need to know what your assignment is. Do you know what your spiritual assignment is? Do you know what your calling is? Where does God have you serving? Because I need to know if I can handle what you've been called to. And you need to be able to make a choice to say, I can handle your calling. So you got to know your calling first, right? You got to know what you like to eat first. You got to know what places you like to go. You got to know, what you doing, what your favorite color is. You got to know the answer to these questions, because how else will you find the right partner? Exactly. And listen, the gifting that is on our lives, baby. So I'm getting very, very clear as to who I need. Come on, somebody. Come on, Leslie. Right? We gotta have this together. Exactly. Because we need to know. I don't want to talk about miscellaneous stuffs. I don't want to talk about that. I want to know, can you handle this spiritual gifting that's on my life? And if you can't, I mean, you still cute, you still fine, you got nice legs, like all of that good stuff. God bless you. But you go be great in somebody else's life, somebody who only needs eye candy. Because I don't need just eye candy, honey. Like, you got work to do over here. I need somebody that knows how to work. Not somebody that just gonna look good. And I don't need no trophy husband, right? We need helpmates, right? We are their helpmate, they are our helpmate. Like, hello, somebody. So we've got to get back. Good morning, Joyanne. We got to get back to a space and a place in our society. We need to start rearing our young men. We need to go into the schools and speak about it. We need to get into men's group. I have one of my sister friends, her ministry, and most people would think, oh, as a lady, your ministry, your calling is either to the women or the youth. No, her ministry is for the men. Her ministry is for the men. So I remember one day we were out, we were in a hotel lobby. We were, meeting up with some friends, and we were in a hotel lobby, and there were men coming in and out. They were congregating in bikers. They were congregating in the hotel lobby as well. We're getting ready to leave. We had met up with our friends. We're getting ready to leave. We're ready to go to our room. Old girl stops and starts a conversation with this group of bikers. And me, I'm sitting there because I could already see them looking and, head to toe on both of us, trying to see, who married, who not married, who can get it, who can't get it. Like you could already see the, all of that. And I was just like, I don't want to be here. Like, I don't want to do this. Like, I don't want to sit here and have miscellaneous conversation with men I don't plan on a future or anything with. I just want to go to the room at this point. And she literally sat there and got into this conversation with these men. And so I'm just sitting there, but that's her ministry. Right. So as her friend, I could just sit in the cut and make sure ain't nobody coming at her sideways. But if this is your ministry, do you, boo? Right. We need those purpose partners. We need those people who are going to be able to support what it is that we do. But we need to know what it is that we're called to do. But then we need to get into these rooms. We need to get into these conversations. You know, if you see something out of line, I remember I was in a post. Mind you, I ain't know nothing about nothing they were talking about. I didn't know nothing about what they were talking about. I don't know what she did, what she said, how she said. I don't know. I don't know these people. I don't care to know these people. But one thing I did say was, this is wrong. It is wrong. He should never be putting his mouth against her. That is wrong. In our culture, in our society, that is wrong. Black men, your role is to support us. And doesn't mean you got to agree with us. Right? It does not mean that you have to agree with us. It doesn't mean we're looking for a lapdog, somebody to say, oh, baby, you're doing great. Oh, baby, you said that so perfectly. Oh, baby, you know, look, if you need a hype man, get you a hype man. But if you need a purpose partner, get you a purpose partner who will be able to say, nah, you was wrong for saying that, but I ain't going to tell the world. So if your crown is crooked, I'm not going to point it out to everybody in the world. Look at her crown is crooked. Look at her crown. Look at her crown. No, I'm going to be like, baby, listen. I agree, you know, do you, I support you and you doing you, but listen, you were wrong in this. Your crown was crooked. Let me help straighten you up. This is the way I believe it should go or whatever. And then we should be able to accept that. We also got to get into a place where we can accept criticism. But we're in this society where we can't, nobody tell us nothing. Who gonna check me? Well, everybody ought to check you. If you're saying something wrong, I don't need hype men. I don't need co-signers on my BS. I told you, Danielle, one time I was desperately seeking a co-signer on some BS that I was on. And the Lord was like, nah, ma'am. He was like, nah. And so I had called Danielle and went straight to voicemail. And the Lord was like, you ain't going to pull my daughter in your mess. You ain't going to get no cosign. You wrong. Accept you wrong and get yourself right. Point blank, period. And I had to sit with that. I had to sit with the fact that I was in wrong, not run around trying to find somebody to okay my wrong. No, the Lord was like, sit in that. And I sat in it. I was like, all right, you right, Jesus. And I got myself together. And once I got myself together, then Danielle was available. But God is like, you stop looking for people who are going to agree with your mess. If you were wrong in the destruction of your marriage, if you were the one that was cheating, somebody needs to call you on your mess. Somebody needs to call you and say, you was wrong with that. You shouldn't be on that job talking like this, that, and the other. What's your game plan? What's your what's the end plan? Like, what are you trying to accomplish here? What are your goals? Somebody needs to hold you accountable. Like, yo, you just spinning around doing nothing. You on a wheel of nothingness. Where's your purpose? What's your plan? Right? Somebody's got to be able to call us on this. But we live in this society where everybody's grinding separately. Everybody is separate. And we need to start uniting together. I don't care if you do exactly what I do. I don't care. Let's do this together. We can divide and conquer. All right, let's go after big contracts with more people and we'll divide it up and we'll share it. Let's normalize those types of conversations. Like, if you want to do something that I've done, come at me. Like, let's have a conversation. Let's stop shutting it down, being scared. Oh my God, she's going to ask me for money. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my. Well, if you want it bad enough, let's make an investment in it. But don't not ask. Because if you don't ask, then you're not prepared. So even if I do say, well, it'll cost you this much for a consultation or whatever the case may be, at least you can get prepared. Now you can put your mind towards, okay, I need to get this in order. I need to get that in order. I need to put this in order to do this. At least now you can get a game plan. But if you're just so content, trust me, whatever it is that you're trying to do, somebody else has done it. Guarantee you're not the only one 50 years old and older going back to school. You're not the only one. You're not the only one. But in your mind, something in your mind tells you that you have to get on the lone island, that you got to be there by yourself, right? You're not the only one who got a divorce or going through a divorce. You ain't the only one. But something in your mind tells you that, shh, don't tell nobody. You're not the only one depressed. But something in your mind says, shh, don't burden nobody with your stuff. You ain't the only one who's broke, who ain't got no money, who living paycheck to paycheck. You ain't the only one. But because you keep your mouth shut and you don't tell nobody, then I can't refer you to Danielle and say, yo, go to DSP Solutions. She's going to help you up. She's going to teach you how to budget, how to get your stuff in order, how to get your money right, how to stack your paper. But you won't tell nobody. You won't tell nobody. And that's the plot of the enemy. The enemy will whisper, you don't need no help. They're not going to understand. Oh, you don't want to burden them. Oh, they're going to talk about you. Oh, they're going to slander your name. Oh. The enemy will whisper these things. And the minute you say and come into agreement with, I'm not going to tell nobody. I'm going to move in silence. You're going to move in silence, but you're going to struggle. The only time you should be moving in silence is if you have the strategy all mapped out. And chances are you still need other people's takes, other people's opinion, because they might be able to fine tune and get you a little bit closer quicker. They can help you get closer to the goal quicker, but you won't tell nobody. You won't tell nobody you're starting a business because you don't want nobody to copy you. It's that mentality that keeps us down. It's that mentality that prevents us from growing. It's that mentality that makes us suffer in silence and suffer in silos of isolation. The enemy loves when we're isolated. The enemy loves to get us by ourselves. But when we get out, like I said, I'm outside. That's my declaration that I'm not in this by myself. I got people. I'm building a community. I'm intentionally connecting with individuals who can support me in some way, shape, or form, whether it's to have a hangout buddy so I can go rip and run these streets or whatever it is. Maybe it's a partner in business. You just never know. So we need to get into a place and a space where we are building these communities that not only support us in our highs, but can pray us through our lows, right? This is the type of community that we need to be actively building. Because yes, we are all each on an individualized journey, does not say that we have to do it alone. Even if what I'm doing is not the same as what you're doing, we can still do it together. My business bestie, our businesses were totally different, but we partnered together so that we go through the ups and downs. And baby, we used to get on the phone. Oh my God, this is not working. How does this do? Like we would get on the phone and support each other all the time. So we do need to get to this space, and I always want to combine the words together, space and place together, where we're okay with being our best selves, and we're also okay not being our best selves, because we know that somebody in our support group is going to build us back up. So actively seek out your communities today. And it may mean that you got to step outside of your comfort zone. Don't be worrying your family members talking about, why you not supporting me? Why you didn't buy my book? Why you didn't do this? Girl, if you don't go find people who want to support you and who want to love on you, right? We gotta do better. Thank you, sis. Absolutely. I love it. We just created a new word, splace. You know what I mean? Splace, right? You know the splace. So you all go forward. I got things to do today. I got to shift gears because there is time for everything. And I'll get back to the story of me cleaning the house because that was relevant as well. But there is indeed enough time for everything. So go forward today. Be great. Start actively and being intentional about finding your place where you can build your community, where they can support you in your greatness and in your weakness. Amen. All right. And everybody stay cool today. Stay hydrated. Have a great day. And prayerfully, I'll see you guys back here tomorrow. Thank you so much, Leslie. Blessings to you all.